Well, we also found something interesting out about Jeffrey on tonight. He wasn't always into hockey. Apparently, when he was little, he wanted to be a cowboy, and he would actually ride his toy horsey to school. His mom was kind enough to share that information with the entire nation tonight. Well, the Packers, they kind of started this season off with Super Bowl hopes, then the losses and the injuries mounted, and they looked like they might not even make the playoffs, and they got hot. They come to the Super Bowl, and, well, look what happens in the Super Bowl again. More injuries, but once again, the Packers able to overcome it all, and once again, they are Super Bowl champions for the 4th time. I think we're both expecting a close game. One thing to watch, Iowa's got a freshman kicker, only attempted 2 kicks all year, his long of the year, 30 yards. So I'm expecting a close game. I still think Iowa pulls it out, but watch it if it comes down to a kick. We're in downtown Dallas right now. As you can see, that things really have not cleared up that much. We had a big ice storm last night. Still a lot of ice on the roads here. As you can see, traffic still moving slowly. They had sand trucks out, but they just don't have enough to keep up with the magnitude of this storm. They're calling it the worst ice storm in Dallas in years. You might not believe the reason, Jake, but it's true. Believe it or not, the Miami players actually not wearing their jerseys because it was too cold out.
Yeah, it's a lot out of our comfort zone weather-wise. We back home it's 79, up here it's mid-50s. So you know we have our sweaters on, and the Badgers they have their short sleeves.
Now we made fun of the Miami guys for not handling the cold, but it is a little chilly tonight, so maybe just maybe it'll affect them a little bit.
I think the cold is affecting the Miami players some. I really do. I don't think they're playing with a lot of juice right now compared to the Wisconsin team.
Now, Matt Zahn with sports.
Best birthday ever. Best birthday ever.
Well, it wasn't your average 21st birthday, but for Badgers star running back Monty Ball, turning 21 equals finding out you're a Heisman Trophy finalist. It also means you're getting a trip to New York for the ceremony Saturday night. Well, if you question how good the Badgers were because of their relatively weak non-conference schedule, how about a throttling of a top 10 team in their Big Ten debut to ease your worries? Next Nebraska possession, it's another interception. This time, Aaron Henry picks it off. And the Badgers not only getting the turnovers, they're capitalizing on the turnovers. Wilson, another pretty pass, 46 yards to Nick Toon, 27-14 Badgers at the half. Nebraska needing a good start to start the second half. Instead, it's their 3rd turnover in 12 plays. Unbelievable. Martinez intercepted again, this time by Antonio Finellis. And once again, it's Wilson, this time doing it with his feet, 10 yards on the bootleg. What a performance by the Badgers tonight. All eyes on the Badger men's hockey team now after both the men's and women's basketball teams were eliminated yesterday. We'll hear from the men coming up. The hockey Badgers have a #1 seed in the 16-team NCAA tournament, and they'll play in St. Paul Friday and hopefully Saturday night. They appear to have a lot going for them. They have a veteran team. They haven't lost back-to-back games all season, and they hope they have luck on their sides thanks to their decision to grow playoff mustaches instead of playoff beards.
I think every time we look in the mirror, we're kind of going, holy, what are we doing? But if it's lucky and it helps us win, we'll do anything. So we're not a real good-looking group right now, but you know, if we play ugly and hard like the mustaches show, we should be okay.
Now, according to Ben Street, of these cheesy mustaches, one stands above the rest.
Jeffrey is awful. To me, he looks like a limo driver.
Street talking about Blake Jeffreyon, and our apologies, of course, to limo drivers everywhere. The Badgers, with their sweet mustaches, will travel to St. Paul Wednesday.
Tonight's meal, spring rolls, there'll be 300, 30 cups of cooked rice, salmon, 140 4-ounce portions.
And don't forget about the 150 or so tenderloin teriyaki skewers that each have nearly half a pound of meat on them. It's the kind of portions you need when you have a team of big, hungry football players coming in after practice.
Some guys get pretty nasty, you know. They don't care what it is. It's just free, so they get as much of it as they can.
It amazes me how much some of the little guys can eat. The big guys, you think it comes with the territory.
To prepare all this food is no easy task. It takes a team of up to 5 UW chefs, 4 student servers, an assistant, and the team nutritionist who starts working on the meal long before it hits the buffet.
The first planning went in like a month ago. It's getting the dates, knowing what time the teams are going to be eating. On top of that, we did the menu planning for this meal a good 2 weeks ago.
And it's more than just putting together large amounts of food. It's large amounts of food that are healthy.
Most of these meals are always going to be after practice. And the big principles we're looking at is rehydrating their bodies with all the fluids we provide, refueling their muscles after the workouts they've had, and then rebuilding their muscles from the breakdown that occurred.
All the thought and effort that goes into what the guys eat in here can translate into how they perform out there.
If they don't eat right away, in that first hour, 2 hours after a practice, what happens is their body can't reach that full potential the next day.
Last Saturday, I didn't really eat too much in the morning, and I was dragging through the whole day. So, you got to be conscious of what you put in.
And as for how you get a bunch of college-aged guys to eat healthy all the time, it's simple.
We don't tell them it's good for them.
In Madison, Matt Zahn, 27 Sports.
It's just an adrenaline rush like no other.
There is a little bit of fear, obviously, that you may roll over.
This is rock crawling, a relatively new extreme form of off-road racing. It's a sport that's all about passion, and that makes Chris Digger Andres, the owner of Team Digger in Janesville, a perfect fit.
Yes! Once I get involved in something and it gets its teeth sunk into me, I go 120% out, and I just don't fall back.
That passion is shared by Chris's sister, Julie, who also drives for Team Digger. She travels 3 hours from her home in Davenport, Iowa, to practice with her brother on the mini course in his backyard. This is really the only place they can work on things because there are no courses anywhere around here. In fact, the closest race that Team Digger participates in is this one in Hannibal, Missouri, a long 6-hour drive from Janesville.
There is a lot of dedication. I think my brother keeps me going. His passion is enough for the whole family.
Good.
Nothing exemplifies Chris's passion for this sport more than this buggy, which is the 7th one of these vehicles that he has built entirely by hand.
Back up. What amazes me is that I can put the rig together for the money that I do, with the technology and the equipment that I have, and I can compete with the rigs that have 150 grand in them.
And more importantly than just building cars, Chris and his sis are hoping to help build this sport.
There's very little money in it at this point. It's really more blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of joy at the same time, but we'd really like to be able to do this for a living.
And who wouldn't? In Janesville, Matt Zahn, 27 Sports. The UW Whitewater volleyball team has come together to support one of their own when she needs it most. It made for a very special night on the Whitewater campus.
Standing at 6 foot even, Lisa Panici.
For at least one night, Lisa was part of the team again, back on the bench, cheering her teammates on. This night was all about Lisa. Her teammates put together this special benefit game for her. Hundreds of fans came to show their support. You wouldn't know it by the big smile on her face, but Lisa is in the fight for her life. Everything was fine this fall. Lisa was showing promise for the UW Whitewater volleyball team. She was enjoying life as a freshman in college. She had been experiencing headaches, but didn't think much of it. Unfortunately, those headaches turned out to be something much worse. This January, Lisa was diagnosed with stage 4 brain cancer. Stage 4 is the worst stage for cancer.
It was hard. I mean, we all took it hard. I have a really tight family, not only my immediate family, but my cousins and aunts and uncles were all really tight, and it was tough on everybody.
Lisa had to have surgery to remove the tumor in her brain. Since then, she's undergone chemotherapy and physical therapy. She's had to learn to walk again, and she lost her hair. But still, she has stayed strong through it all.
I've been positive through it. I mean, it's happening, and I can't do anything about it now, so I may as well deal with it and make the best of it that I can. I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is, I can't change anything now.
Lisa is such an inspiration for us. She has this devastating news, and not once does Lisa cry. Not once does she complain. Not once does she whine. She just does it. There is no quit in my daughter. And I thought, by God, there can be no quit in us.
And so the Panicis continue their fight. The prognosis for this type of cancer is not good, but if anyone can beat it,
if there's that one in a whatever, Lisa has what it takes to be that one, and then to not forget that she was that one, and to be blessed every day with that knowledge and help other people who are going through a similar plight.
For Lisa, it's a day-by-day process right now, and she's focused more on short-term goals.
I want to be completely independent. My parents have told me walk like up and down stairs. We have an old Victorian house with so many stairs. 17 stairs just up to my bedroom. Like, oh, of course. Couldn't live on a ranch. But I want to be independent again.
Lisa also said she would love to be able to get back out on the volleyball court. If that doesn't happen, at least she had this one night where she was part of the team again. Really amazing how she keeps her sense of humor through all this. And I just want to mention that benefit Friday night actually raised over $4,000. And Lisa has a doctor's appointment tomorrow where they're going to see what progress the surgery and chemotherapy have done, and then they're going to decide what their next course of action is.
Well, I think her family probably grew a lot tonight with a lot of viewers at home pulling for her.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for sharing that story. We'll be right back.